Hello, fellow business owners and developers. Today, I want to talk about how most businesses are only ever working on 3 or 4 of the 8 business growth criteria in their business. And what that means is they are literally leaving hundreds of thousands of pounds on the table. So if you want to put a stop to that, watch this video. In quite a few videos on our YouTube channel, we've already covered off how the compounding business growth formula uses the compounding effect to give you significantly more gains in revenues, gross profit, net profit, and cash in your business. And we do that by working on all 8 areas of your business. However, the inverse is also true. If you only work on 3 or 4 areas of the 8 areas in your business during the year, then the compounding business growth formula can have the reverse effect as well, slowing your development down massively. And this means that you're literally leaving hundreds of thousands of pounds on the table. So today we're going to go through some actual numbers, show you what this actually means when you only work on 3 or 4 different areas during the year, and how you can go about fixing that. If you feel you need to understand more about the compounding business growth formula, go back and watch some of the other videos on our YouTube channel. Otherwise, let's go on and have a look at the negative effect of the formula when you're only working on 3 or 4 of the areas. Well, hello, fellow business owners and developers. In this video, we want to talk about the opportunity cost of not working on all 8 areas of the compounding business growth formula, business growth criteria. What I've found over the last 25 years is when I go and speak with business owners and do a review of their business and where they're working on their business and what developments they're doing, we typically find that of the 8 blue areas we've got here, I find most businesses are working on 3 or 4 of the 8 and ignoring the other 4 or 5 of the 8 business growth criteria. Now, this is costing them massive momentum, even in their first year, but over a 3-year period. I'm going to show you today, put numbers behind all this to help you understand what it's truly costing you by not being more organized and having a plan to work on all 8 business growth criteria during the year. Now, look, if you want to understand this formula better, go back to our earlier videos. There's one of the videos on YouTube here is how to take your business from $250,000 to 7 figures. Go and watch that video. It explains the numbers in a lot more detail. So I'm not going to skip through that on this video here because you can go back and watch it on another video. What I will show you is what a formula normally looks like when you work on all 8 areas during the year, going for that 10% gain. So look, just quickly, you can see the numbers here. You can stop the video, go through, look at the 10% gains in all the 8 blue areas across the board, and you can see your revenues in year 1 jumps from $240,000 to $385,990. Your gross profits go from $156,000 to $258,613. Your net profits jump from $51,480 to $93,877, and the amount of cash in your business bank account ends up at goes from $25,740 to $51,632. The rest of it's tied up in your cash conversion cycle. Now, I mentioned to you that I found that most small businesses, when I speak to them, are only working on 3 or 4 areas. So what I've done here is showing you a calculation on what happens when you only work on 3 of the 8 areas and not on all 8 of the areas. So in this example here, we've got the business working on increasing the number of leads by 10%. They're not working on their lead to prospect conversion rate. So it's going to stay pretty much the same throughout the time of this exercise. They are working on their prospect to customer conversion rate, so they get a 10% gain in that area of the year. They are working on their average value sales strategy, so they're getting a gain there, but they're not working on any of the other business growth criteria below that at all. So just these 3 they're working on. So look, here's the numbers here, and what happens is that, so they get a 10% gain in leads, no increase in conversion rate here. That means that they end up with 2,198 customers, which is 218 fewer if they worked on their lead to prospect conversion rate as well. So that's 218 fewer prospects. Now, they are working on the prospect to customer conversion rate, so they get a 10% gain there, but still they end up with 145 fewer customers because they didn't work on their lead to prospect conversion rate as well. So that's costing them 145 customers during the year. Now, they are working on their pricing strategies, so they get an extra 10% increase in average value sale per customer. But however, they're not working on increasing the average number of transactions per customer during the year. So we can see here that they still get a reasonable gain in revenues from 240,000 to 319,000. However, if they'd worked on all 5 blue areas here during the year, they would have actually got their business to 385,980, which is in the original video of how to go from $250,000 to 7 figures. Now, so that means they're actually getting £66,000, £66,990 less in revenues year one, just because they weren't organised enough to work on all 5 areas. That's a lot of sales revenue, you're leaving on the table. Now, you're not working on any of these other blue areas here as well, so what happens is that during the year, yes, you still get gains, so your gross profit jumps from 156,000 to 207,350. However, if you've worked on all the areas, it would have actually jumped to 258,613. So that's actually cost you £51,263 in lost gross profit. And because you're not working on your net margin strategies either, okay, you still get an increase in your net margins and your net profit, and it goes from 51,480 to 68,453. Still a good jump. However, you've left £25,422 of net profit on the table because you didn't work on all the areas above here, all the blue areas above here. And then here you haven't worked on your monetary conversion, your cash flow, your cash conversion cycle at all. And because of that, you've still had an increase in cash from 25,740 to 34,217, but you've left £17,415 in cash on the table that's not in your business bank account because you haven't worked on these areas. Now, that's just the first year. Now, we showed you in previous videos the power of the compounding effect to grow your business. Well, when you're only working on 3 of the 8 areas at any stage during the year, the negative aspect of the compounding effect also dramatically kicks in. So let me show you what it costs you in year 2 if you're only working on 3 of the 8 areas. So again, we've done the same 3 areas, gone for a 10% gain. And look I'm not going to go through the math on each of these, but you've got 506 fewer prospects. You've got 369 fewer customers. You've got £197,240 less in revenues. That's what you would have had. This is what you end up with. Okay, you've got 153,084 less in gross profit. So that's what you would have had if you'd worked on all the areas before. This is what you ended up with because you only worked on 3 of the areas. Your net profits, you've left £80,129 on the table. So you got £80,129 less in year 2 than what you would have got if you worked on all the blue areas again, all the business growth criteria. Just because you're working on 3 of the 8, if you'd worked on all of them, you would have got that. And then your cash, you've left £58,000. You've left £58,044 in your cash conversion cycle because, again, you haven't worked on this area as well. So that's costing you a lot of money year 2. And then in year 3, yes, it gets even more dramatic. So year 3, the compounding effect kicks in. If you're only working on 3 areas, 3 of the 8 areas, you've got 879 fewer prospects in this example. You've got 701 fewer customers. You've got your revenues is down by 400. You're still growing your revenues. Don't get me wrong. You're still growing your revenues, but you're 434,532 less if you had been organised to work on all the compounding business growth criteria. Okay, so and your gross profits is 342,433 less than what it could have been if you worked on all 8 areas. Your net profits is £190,000 less than if you worked on all the areas, and your cash is down by 146,000. Okay, because of you not working on all those 8 areas. Now, that sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? But this is where it's worse because it's the cumulative effect of what you're missing out on. So if we go back here to year 1 and we take our net profit. So we've left £25,000 on the table there. we've left £80,000 on the table there, which is £105 cumulative, and we've left £190,000. So we've left £295,000 in net profit on the table because we only worked on 3 of the 8 areas over that 3-year period. That's what it's costing you. It's costing you massive business growth momentum by not working on all 8 areas over a period of 3 years. Now, if you'd like to get more organized, if you want to start working on all 8 areas and you want to get the right systems in place to do this, we invite you to book a 15-minute Zoom call with us. Let's discuss your current business, what you're doing, and we'll also conduct a complimentary business growth audit with you, run you through this formula, put your numbers in here, and identify the right strategies for you and your business. And if we can both see value in working together, then we will offer you our business profit guarantee and offer to work with you on the right mentoring program based on where your business is at the moment. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. So like it. Please subscribe to the channel. If you've got any questions, comment below. Comment any learnings below as well. Make a comment below, please. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you through a complimentary business growth audit at some stage in the future. Have a fantastic and profitable day. Why would you choose to make it anything else?